walk out on that field today, ask yourself this question.
What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We ready! We ready! We ready! We ready! And let's go! And let's go!
When I step on the field, I send one message. And this is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Football is getting hit. That's it.
It's gonna be football now! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's hunt now! Let's hunt now! Let's go! Let's hunt! We ready! And let's go! And let's go!
We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this, how like we the Miami Heat of football. Yap, 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 yap. The bottom line is you got to buckle up your chin straps. It's embarrassing. Yap, 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 yap. Don't disrespect the game like that. There's too much crying from them. He's a man. They can be a hit just like us. He's a man. You already make the big money. He's a man. Don't cry when you step on the field, man. That's war out there. When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. Oh, my bad, my bad. Your bad don't work in my world.
What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! We ready! And let's go! And let's go! It's a wrap. Game over.
This game is not over. It is definitely just getting started right here on the lunch break on powered by Jones Media and Entertainment and streaming live on ROKU TV courtesy of BS3. And I want to shout out to Ben Sutter III and all the good folks at the BS3 network for allowing us to be a part of the family. It is, oh my goodness, Monday. But let me first start off by extending my deepest condolence and extending my most sincere prayers to the family of Dwayne Haskins, who tragically lost his life in Florida after being struck by a vehicle. We won't get into the details of that because those details are still quite sketchy and literally all over the place. And I have absolutely no words for Adam Schefter and for, the Hall of Fame old dude at 90 years old. I'm not even going to say his name, but all I'll say is this: my sincere thoughts and prayers go out to the family of Dwayne Haskins and his family, friends, former players, colleagues, you name it. All right. With that being said, let me bring in the Coach Johnnie Cole as we take our HBCU Stroll. And Coach, you got a full house lined up for us today.
Yeah, well, I got some guys that I had a pleasure of coaching and, a forgotten championship that we want to try to make sure we bring up to date. And, it's American history. I think we kind of overlooked it, but these guys deserve it. They were student athletes at the time, and they've gone on and done positive things in their life. So I'm excited about, this opportunity to reach back and make sure that these guys get their just due.
Yeah, no, I agree. I did some research after you and I talked about it. And after a chance, I got to talk to the amazing brother that you sent my way. And man, it is very sketchy. It's very hard to find. I had to go to the OVC Wikipedia page and look at all the different championships. And oh yeah, there it was, with no commentary, with no nothing, but it was on there. It just didn't say nothing about it.
Yeah, it's a shame that Tennessee State used to be an independent in the 60s, 70s, and 80s.
Yeah.
And Gail Sayers became the AD, and he put them in the Ohio Valley Conference.
Yep.
And for 9 years before we showed up, I think the most games they won in there, probably about 2 or 3. Wow. And, of course, we get in there and we, my brother being the head coach, we get in there and turn it around and win back-to-back. And being the first and only black college team until this late to be in a conference that's full of PWIs, and actually turn around and win it in football. We've done great jobs in made great strides
basketball,
in basketball, but we're
right,
talking about football. You know, we
right.
already in this game, both on the collegiate level and on the pro level.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have that many African-American head football coaches. So
Yeah.
this thing here, you know, shows that we can coach football teams. We can win championships.
Well, I'm not trying to break any news or anything like that, but there is obviously a documentary in the works, because this is the kind of stuff that those who highlight our stories need to be getting behind. So for those who are friends with Spike Lee, for those who are friends with Ava DuVernay, for those who are friends with Tyler Perry and Oprah, and look, and I'm gonna say his name because, you know, folks want to talk about cancel culture when it's them, but then the first chance they get, they want to cancel somebody. If Will Smith wants to get behind a project like this, we'll take that. We'll definitely take that.
You know, look,
Yeah, so,
hey, man, it's a great story. You know, you're talking about me and my brother, the siblings, and you see so much of that in the NFL with all these families passing down. Unfortunately for us, that we didn't have that type of backing, you know, to support us. You know, we're northerner guys, come to the South, win a championship, and you look around and you see the coaches that have left that conference,
right,
that actually have moved on to bigger and better and greater things, but they've never been black, and they've been able to move on, and we were stagnated to go to another black school.
Yeah, yeah. We're talking to the Coach Johnnie Cole on our HBCU Stroll here on the lunch break, powered by Jones Media and Entertainment. We're broadcasting live on YouTube, on Twitch, and we are on ROKU TV, courtesy of BS3. Now, Coach, we got some other folks that are standing by to jump on. Let me see if I can't bring one of them on. I think one of them's having a little bit of trouble with his network. We'll try and get him on too. But first, let me add Leon Murray to the broadcast. Look, he's sitting back like he's ready for it. Leon, lean over the other way. You kind of halfway out. There you are. Yeah. Line up right there in the middle. Coach, did you have problems lining him up on the line?
What? you talking about this guy? This was the quarterback.
Quarterback?
Man, this guy is they used to call him left foot. You know, and he broke all the Ohio Valley Conference passing records. Player of the year. Took us to 2 great winning years, and man, there's so many stories about this guy. Lovable, quiet, just get the job done. One of the best players I ever coached in my career. Not saying that because he's on here. All the other players will say the same thing, and he really took charge. And he was a transfer. You hear my man Dion took my my playbook, so here's another transfer we got in from the University of Pittsburgh.
Okay.
And he's out of Ohio through Louisiana.
Okay.
And
well, I love him already. If he a Louisiana boy, I love him already.
Yeah. And he was also up for the Heisman Trophy.
Hold on, Coach, real quick. It says your mic is not connected. So, Leon, do me a favor. Make sure your mic is good so we can hear you, man, because you got a lot we want to talk about today, man. We want to hear from you and everything. If it doesn't work, go ahead and pull your headset off and unplug it, and we'll see if we can't do it that way. But it says that you're not connected. We definitely want to hear from the quarterback. But, Coach, how y'all find this young man out of Louisiana?
Well, through just being notable good coaches, and was contacted, and my brother reached out to his high school, and then we found out that he was up in Pittsburgh, and we got the number and started calling, and and found out that he was looking for a home. He wasn't playing up there. They used to call him pick feet, because they say he always would be over on the sideline picking with his feet with his cleats, and the funny thing, I got an opportunity to go up there when their staff was at Pittsburgh. Some of the guys, and I was doing some studying with the Steelers. And when I would bring his name up, man, they would be real quiet, quiet.
Wow. Wow.
I mean, this guy threw for over 3,000 yards in one season.
Oh,
so that's playing quarterback.
That's playing quarterback. And again, a lot of the knocks that they talk about the black quarterback is that they can run and they can run the option and all this other stuff, but very rarely do they give us credit for being able to throw the ball. And when you throw for 3,000 yards, that's 3,000 yards.
I know you're going to bring him on, but one in the championship game, the first championship in 1998, he threw for 5 touchdowns and caught one and missed one himself.
Wait a minute, Coach. Hold on, Coach. Coach, I'm about to jump on broadcast journalists today. I want to smack Adam Schefter. I want to get old boy, and I do mean old boy. But man, you can't talk about the one he dropped when he threw for 5 and caught one. Coach, that ain't necessary.
Was that a heck of a game or what, Coach?
Brother Murray, let's do this. Can you unplug your headset? And
I think you're ready now.
You think you're ready? Because I still show it's not connected. Yeah, it says can't unmute your guest because the mic is not connected. I want to hear him, man. I want to hear him loud and clear. Right? Yeah. Do me a favor, Brother Murray. If you can hear me, go out and come back in without your headset and your mic. We'll just try and make it work from there. Okay. All right. And then while we're doing that, let me go down because I think we got one of the other coaches in here. Let me see if I can get him on, and we'll get him on. There he is.
Oh, there he is.
What's up, Coach? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you loud and clear.
Word. What's going on, Coach?
But he's a coach now.
Okay.
Now, let me rephrase that. We don't talk, but he's a championship coach.
Oh, wait a minute. Now say it like you mean it. I can say it.
Let's get that straight.
Man, I'm good. What's going on, man? How y'all doing?
Man, we're doing well.
Good,
we're doing extremely well. And look, I think we got
what's up, Mike Bright?
Did you
left foot? Can he hear me?
He live over in that big old house. I guess he's on the wrong computer.
Man.
Yeah.
Quarterback ain't running the wrong play, is he? Is the quarterback running the wrong play?
Man, yeah, he running the wrong play, man.
Oh, man.
He acting like this 97.
Well, a little bit history on Asante. When we got to Tennessee State, you know, he was from the old regime. And, of course, we came in making changes and moving folks around and shaking leads and stuff. And I guarantee he was one of the guys who bought into it. You know, he stayed focused of, one, I want to graduate from school. And number 2, shit, I'm tired of losing. I want to win a championship.
Man,
so if these men are saying, this is the way we win, man, guys, this is what we need to do. So he was one of our guys that really showed he was an older guy. You know, he could have made it hard on us, but he bought in and he bought in quick. And he was able to sell it over to the other players. And, you know, me and him talk, you know, for the last 20 years, he's became a high school coach himself. He's taken some of the philosophy that he was coached up underneath and brought it to his own program. And he's been having great success as well on the high school level. A great family man, a good man to know. And, you know, like I said, he's a championship coach in high school. And we keep in touch and we still talk about things that's going on today compared to what was happening 20 years ago.
Yep. Yeah,
Coach,
man.
Tell us more about you, Coach. Tell us more about what you're doing now and what those times meant back then.
Right now, this is my I think I'm in my 23rd year teaching, but this is my 18th year as a head coach. And it's my 3rd head coaching job. I'm at John Overton High School in Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay.
I was at Maplewood High School as the head coach there for the last 11 years, and I was a head coach at McGavick High School for 6. And man, you know, we won a few region titles. Hadn't been to the state once with Maplewood. Won a few region titles at McGavick and also at Maplewood. So you know, hoping to do some great things here. It's my first year. We had a 7-5 season, which is not bad. Team here had some down years, so I'm trying to pick it back up. But man, I'm Nashville native. Got to TSU in '94. Was under Bill Davis and his coaching staff, and man, Coach Cole, Coach LC, and Coach JC. Man, they came in and you know like all coaches, man, they had a plan. You know, some other guys wanted, other people, but the coaches we got, man, I think that was the best thing for us. I think the one thing, being from here, being from Nashville, man, and guys coming in, you see a lot of different guys coming to the program, and I think the biggest thing, just like they brought in Leon, man, was a lot of the talent that they brought in from other places. And, man, you a guy that's there. First thing on your mind is, oh, man, they trying to get rid of us. That's the first thing you think about. They trying to get rid of us. But it was all a part of the big plan, man. You just had to stick to your guns, man, and do the right thing. Just know that as I found out later, man, you in the college scene, you always gonna get recruited over, and there's always coaches are always looking for somebody else to replace you, because at the end of the day, man, you never know what's gonna happen. You never know how chips are gonna fall. And man, look, everything that we do now in my program, in the programs previously, are things that I learned from that staff, from Coach Cole, Coach JC, just the whole kit and caboodle, from discipline to just meeting times, to how we meet, to how you run, your practice schedule, to what you run offensively, defensively, special teams, every part of it. We don't do the exact same thing, but it's a variation. And Leon will tell you, man, the offense we call the hobo, man, it has been poked at and prodded for the last few years, but the basis of it is still the same.
Yeah, in fact, let's see if we can get the quarterback Leon. Can you hear us, QB?
Is it working?
It's working.
There
Still
you go,
it's working. Okay.
We hear you.
Yeah,
I'm in
I
here.
told
All
you
right.
now. He did that on purpose.
Shut up, left foot.
What's going on, bro? Hey, we'll talk after we get off here.
Yeah, we're gonna get off it. We'll keep it light today.
Yeah.
Hey, quarterback, tell us about that hobo offense, man. I've been hearing a lot about it. In fact, I got some clips of it most recently, and I was like, well, I'll be damned. Got a little pop to it.
Yeah, I feel like it was an offense that was kind of ahead of its time, really. We were running no huddle. A lot of people weren't doing a lot of no huddle back then. We multiple different formations. I think they even came up with a rule. They had to change the rule where we couldn't sub. You had to give defense time to make substitutions because you were playing so fast in the offense. I mean, it was an offense that got the playmakers the ball in their hands and let them do their job. As a quarterback, you just needed to be smart, accurate, and know the offense. I was there for 3 years. My first year, like you said, I came in from Pitt, and I kind of thought in my head I could just, because I knew football pretty well. So I just figured, hey, look, with my knowledge of football, I'll pick up the offense and things will just, work out. When I got there and realized, hey, look, now this isn't high school or anything. This is it's a complex offense that you really need to know the ins and outs. And once I figured that out, with the playmakers we had and the offensive line we had, the offense, it was pretty impressive.
Guys, real quick, we got a caller that we're going to add into the mix. It is none other than Lenny Moon, and I know he's got some comments he wants to add. Brother Moon, you're on live on the lunch break.
Hey, man, thanks, AJ. What's up, Coach Johnnie Cole?
What's going on? And Moon, can I say something real quick, but for about 30 seconds, so I let these guys know, because this is their first time putting their eyes on you. Moon was a reporter in Houston, guys, and he kind of followed my career, and then we became real good friends, and he gravitated to this story. He wants to tell the story about you guys. His background, he helped Robert Brazil get into the Hall of Fame, the NFL Hall of Fame. He's been a reporter down in the Houston area for a long time, and I can't say enough about him. This project is like his baby, and we've been working back and forth, and he's really the spearhead behind it. I'm just behind the scenes as usual. Y'all know that's my role. I'm always behind the scenes. So I just want to say that about Moon, so guys will know that he's the driving force to to showing the world that you guys made history as being the first Black college football team to win a PWI, not 1 year but twice.
Brother Moon.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, man, I appreciate that. Man, it's a pleasure to have an opportunity, AJ, to be on your show, man. Number one, man, I want to thank for this opportunity.
Not a problem.
And secondly, man, like Coach Cole alluded to, I call him JC, so if I make a JC reference, you know what I'm talking about. It's that this is American history, man. A lot of times, and AJ, you and I spoke about this last week sometimes, is that a lot of times, man, we as African Americans, we marginalize our accomplishments, and we depend on the other side of the tracks to tell our story. Okay, this is American history. That's my starting point, and JC knows this. That's always my starting point when I have an opportunity to talk about what these guys accomplished in 1998 and 1999. This is American history. Why is it American history? Because no other HBCU in the history of America had ever accomplished what these guys accomplished. I mean, I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but to me, that equates to American history.
Right.
And so that's where it starts. And so a guy like myself, as JC knows, I broadcasted Texas Southern football for a lot of years, during the straight hand years. During the time JC was a player, and during the time JC was an assistant coach under the Walter Highsmith administration. And also I broadcasted at Prairie View during the time they won their first championship since 1946. That year was in 2009. So you add all that up, and it's almost 30 years.
Yeah.
And so in a 30-year reference point, I know how difficult it is to defeat a historically white school, usually on their campus, for one game. For a single game. What Tennessee State did was not only did they defeat these Caucasian schools, but they won the conference not once, but twice. And so I'm thinking, man, how in the heck were they able to pull that off?
Hey, you can say hell on the show. How the hell did they, not only how did they pull it off, but how is it not being recognized? How is it not being chronicled? How is it being ignored? That's the part that's got me fired up and ready to just, do whatever we got to do, man.
Yes, sir. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And so, I was telling you the other day, AJ, when I was playing Prairie football, and they only lost one game that championship year, and that one game was against New Mexico State and Las Cruces, New Mexico, on a phantom holding call, and PV wound up losing by that touchdown that they called back, 60-something touchdown run by KJ Black. So my point of bringing that up is that you have all of these obstacles you have to overcome just to win one game.
Right.
But these guys won the conference, Ohio Valley Conference, as JC alluded to, historically white conference, not only in 1998, but they had a better year the following year. In 1989, when they repeated. Yeah. So quite naturally, anybody that's hearing this story for the first time would be curious like I was. Yeah. Okay, I understand that you guys did this, but the bigger question, how? You said I can say hell? How in the hell were you guys this off?
Yeah.
Man, I got to tell you, I don't know what it's going to take, but whatever it does, we got to get the story captured. We got to get these interviews recorded. We got to put it together, and then we got to get it out there, and we can shop it from there once we get it out there, because I already done called out Spike Lee, Ava DuVernay. I already done called out Tyler Perry, and I even said, the hell with the slap. If Will Smith want to do something with it, put some money behind it, and then God dog it, we'll take it. Chris Rock, bring your money and your influence as well, and we'll take it from there.
I'll tell you.
Let me also add this. Another distinctive aspect about this story is that you're talking about two biological brothers. Yeah. L.C. Cole, the older brother, head coach, came from the big white school background. Was a starter at University of Nebraska, coached at mostly historically white schools before he got his first head coaching opportunity at Tennessee State. JC, on the other hand, biological younger brother, quarterback started Texas Southern. Still owns some of the record on Texas Southern's record books as a quarterback. Okay, JC came back as a assistant coach at his alma mater and left there, went to Southern, went to Lane College, went to several other HBCU institutions. And so you had a dynamic of the older brother coming from pretty much a white college background, and this younger brother who was the brain trust, offensive coordinator. I heard you guys allude to that hobo offense earlier, came from the HBCU experience. You merge those together, bam, and all of a sudden magic happens.
Yeah, Coach Cole.
Well, those two guys that we looking at this on here today, the story of Asante Brooms, us coming in, as he said earlier, a different flavor, a different staff. And then now he's got to transition from how it was always to new ways. I mean, we did a whole bunch of things new, how we wore our practice stuff and the little things. And he had an opportunity, either he was going to fight it or he's going to buy into it. Leon comes from the outside, coming in, as he say, with this ideal of, man, I'm coming to this black school, what's going to happen? Then he gets there and his eyes are bright, and it's just stories. I mean, we had two linemen, Michael Thompson and Antoine McNutt, right before the 98 season. I mean, get in a brawl like it was WWF, and I'm thinking to myself, Jesus, we got all these parts that we got to formulate and bring to one. I mean, it was like, were we gonna win any games? So, and then we had the administration. We were fighting against the administration as well, because we came in and started doing a lot of different things on and off the field. So, I mean, sometimes when I sit up at night, I think, wow, it was big time. It was something that we did spectacular.
Yeah, guys, go ahead, Brother Moon.
Okay, now something else, man. We talk about the obstacles. Okay, you guys were the most penalized team in Ohio Valley Conference by far in the entire conference. I mean, you guys had twice as many penalties as the second place team and being penalized. I mean, obstacles such as that. I mean, obstacles such as being called the N-word are regular, almost as much as Jackie Robinson heard the N-word. And then spatterpod and things of that nature. And like LC was telling me a couple of times before, he was saying when the OVC teams were kicking you guys' butts, oh man, they run across the field, shake your hand, and hey man, good day, this, that, and the other, that sportsmanship thing. But once you guys turn the table on them and start kicking their butts, now all of a sudden they're running away from you.
Yeah. Real quick. Leon Murray, left foot. How did that feel as a quarterback? Were you getting called the N-word? Were you getting the business on the bottom of the pile? Tell us about your experience during this time.
Well, I did hear the N-word a couple times. Not often, and getting the business on the bottom of the pile. That with my offensive line, that wasn't gonna happen.
All right.
If you did get in touch me, you wasn't gonna get to stay on me very long. They weren't having any of that. You got to think on that team, you had 4 offensive linemen who made it to the NFL. One was like a 10-year vet, and the one that didn't make it, he was probably the toughest, and I know he cussed the most out of all of them. But he was the leader of the group, and he was cartilage on. I mean, he was bone on bone. He had no cartilage in his knees, and he went out there every week, and I mean, he gave it his all, and he was, like I said, he was the leader. He was the one barking out all the instructions. So no, I didn't get the business too much. I can honestly say that I did hear some things, but as far as getting the business, that didn't happen.
Like that Eastern Kentucky game he's saying, when we finally beat Eastern Kentucky the first time in the school's history.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tell that story.
Leon can tell it. Leon could probably tell that one a little bit better. That EKU game was big. It was, I think the final score was like 33-20 or something like that. But man, we had been getting thumped. Matter of fact, the year before at TSU, I think we got beat like 49-6, and that was just the norm. EKU would put it on us, and we went down to Roy Kidd, man, and it's something to be said, man, when you can execute offensively And you know, you're not just, it's not about you just out there throwing bombs and, you know, playing wild football like us, a bunch of athletes. And oh man, we were putting plays together, you know, running the football consistently. And we, you know, LC and them came in with a vision board, and I think that vision board was, you know, 24 points a game. I want to say 150 yards rushing, 250 yards passing, you know, 60% efficiency on third down and fourth down. So those were things that we were looking to try to do every week.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to ask this of the entire panel, including you, Brother Moon. Again, that's where a lot of times black programs and black head coaches and players don't get a lot of credit, that you have a game plan that will control the ball on offense, shut it down, get off the field on defense on third down, and have a high third down efficiency. And that's what the Coaches Cole were able to get done at Tennessee State in a predominantly white conference.
Yeah. Look, Coach, I'm going to say this and you can go, but Leon and Coach, they'll both tell you, at the beginning of the game, first play was either going to be boss pass, hunch pass, you know, 128. It was going to be something that we ran big boy post to catch you off guard. Because what you think? You thinking, oh, we're going to run the ball for? No, we're going up top first. Yeah. That play, that way we can control. Now we can control the tempo of the game, control the offense. We already got you on your heels. So now when we do come back and we trying to grind it out, we can run the ball 4 or 5 times and start eating the clock up. So that was a game plan. Those are things that we did to put ourselves in good positions.
Yeah.
Man, real quick, let me say this, and I don't mean to jump in the middle of all y'all's shine. I'm an old wide receiver. I would have bit my mouthpiece in half if the first play of the game was go big, Doc. Go big. Just go. Man, please. I would have gave it away because my eyes would have been real big on the line, Doc.
It was play action. It's play action, though. It's play action.
Yeah.
Hey, they looking for it. They creeping.
Yeah.
And see what it is, though. You know, I you know, that's the fun part of coaching. I think the other part, and these guys attest to, is we had to get them straight academically. You know, and we had what we had cards, the true statements to take around. That means the kid have to say that, yeah, I've been to class all week, you know, and we have to go, they would have to go to their position coaches, and we as a staff would evaluate them. Well, they didn't know that. And you could see when, you know, of course we came in trying to change the culture.
Yeah.
And you could see that one guy had the good handwriting and he was signing everybody's true statement. And they wasn't going to no class when we got there. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on, Coach.
Yeah.
We going back, Brother Moon, help me with this. We going back to broadcast journalism 101. Stop throwing these dudes under the bus.
Hey.
You know the quarterback had the back handwriting. Give me your paper, Doc. Give me your paper.
And we gonna tell the story. We need to tell the whole story. You know,
we gonna do like they do. We gonna conveniently edit out some of those truths.
But hey, this like you know, all the other stories. You know, we had to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't like a walk in the park.
Right.
You know? Right. And that's why we had to bring some folks in, and we had to change some folks.
Yeah.
And you know, once they got that understand that, look, man, these people ain't playing.
Right.
They want us to graduate. And I think that's the thing about what we done. We brought so much new stuff to them, what the other people were doing that could out-recruit us. And they were wondering why. You know, we gave them their per diem money, and they'll talk about that. And then, you know, we made sure that they eat well and training table. Yeah. And on Friday nights, and Leon knew that, at Pittsburgh, they would go to the hotel.
Yeah.
But these guys, they wouldn't do that. They would stay in the dorm until we got there. And then we started taking them to the campground.
Yeah.
And then we got what we call a football operations guy to make sure that we're getting what they supposed to get. And then when they start getting them refund checks, we were rolling. By year 3, they was like, we get refund checks, we get great meals. You know, all we got to do is go to class and come to practice. Oh, we good. You know, and we bought them. They had uniform. They had everything. Warm-up suits, travel suits. Black schools didn't have all this.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? See, Dion them stole our blueprint.
Uh-oh.
You know, it must have got out of the safe. You know,
I ain't going there. I ain't going there with you.
No, don't go there.
Yeah,
he's doing a great job there.
Real quick, I gotta get this question off from one of the viewers, and I'm gonna go in order on your thoughts on this question. The question is, should we demand more from our sports and information directors? And I'm going to assume that the hour means at HBCUs. Lenny Moon, should we expect more and demand more out of our HBCU sports and information directors?
Well, my response, brother, to that would be absolutely. And the example I would use would be the Grambling situation back in the day.
Yeah.
Back in the day when Grambling was playing at Yankee Stadium, they were playing in a lot of NFL stadiums, Detroit, LA Coliseum, et cetera, when other HBCUs were not doing that. But why were they able to pull it off? They were able to pull it off because they had one of the best marketing guys in the country, bar none. And he was marketing / sports information type guy for Grambling during that time.
Yeah.
And so I'm circling around to answer your question, is that the publicity that comes from those individual HBCU schools are definitely crucial.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to think highly of yourself first. I mean, AJ, JC, these Tennessee State players, et cetera. I mean, you have to think highly of yourself before you can convince somebody else to think this highly of me.
Right.
And so it begins, to answer your question, absolutely, it starts there. And you want to make sure, that this is some big shit
right.
that we're doing here. This has never been done before.
Right.
I mean, of course, you're supposed to let the world know this.
Right,
and
right.
That's what Grambling did. I mean, Grambling had a product. They had a heck of a marching band. They had one of the greatest football coaches in the country. They certainly understood what show business was. And we got a product to sell, and we want you guys to see it. And we are proud of what we're taking to the marketplace. And so I guess that's a long-winded way of asking a question. I've no doubt about it.
Yeah, let me jump over to the quarterback. Leon Murray, what do you think about how they promote what it is you guys were doing on the field? Should we expect more from our sports and information directors and athletic departments?
I think overall, yes. I think from my knowledge, from my viewpoint as a player, when I was there, I felt our sports information guy did a pretty good job. I don't know who was spearheaded, if that was, being directed by coaching them. I wasn't in that part of it, but, he did a great job of pushing the players out, getting us nominated for certain awards and accolades and things like that. And I don't think coaching them would have had any other way, though. I think they would have made sure that, they were going to do right by us and push the players to get us on as many All-American teams. And like you said, he put me up for the Heisman Trophy and things like that. So, I mean, like I said, from my viewpoint, I feel like ours did, but overall, I would definitely say yes. We need to leverage what we have. What we have is something unique and special to HBCUs, and I don't feel like we do that enough.
Good answer. In fact, I'm gonna tweak the question for my next two. Coach Broom. Coach Broom. Here's my question: is the sports and information director at TSU doing the best job possible to get the story out about your championship teams?
You mean the current one?
Current.
Well,
tell the truth.
I'm glad you got that question.
I dropped it right on his front step. Yeah, I'm sorry, Coach. That's how we do it over here on the lunch break.
If it was Johnny Ballpark Franks, then maybe so. But at this, I don't even really know who the SID is right now because it's probably somebody new because the new staff is there. But I will say this: over the last maybe 10, 15, 20 years, there hadn't been a lot said about us in general. Yeah. I mean, you can't really. I mean, I think our pictures are up from the teams we were on. Our pictures are up in Keene Hall. There may be a banner up in Gentry. I'm not real sure, but like when you see commercials, you don't see anything about our era. Like I don't see my coaches. I don't see any of my. I don't see left foot. Like when they show a commercial about TSU football, you don't see left foot throwing the ball. You may see somebody from, 2005 or 2009, or you'll see somebody from way back in the day, but you don't ever see, Leon, Butterfield. You'll never see the leading sack guy at TSU here. You don't never see L Train, Lamar Carter. You don't see those guys in any of those commercials or anything like that. So, we get recognized. We have been recognized a few times, but at the end of the day, there are universities that hold on to.
Yeah, they do.
They hold on to certain things that are done at the school. Yeah. And people talk about our championships, but nobody looks at it as like it was a big accomplishment.
All right, so let me do this. And I know we're running out of time. We're a 1 hour show now instead of 2. It's lunch break. We are powered by Jones Media and Entertainment. We're broadcasting live on ROKU TV, courtesy of BS3 TV network. Coach Cole, did y'all get invited back in 2008 or 2009?
No. How we came back.
That would have been the 10-year anniversary of both championships, right?
Yeah.
Did y'all get back?
We didn't do the
2018, 2019?
We
came back in 18 and 19, but we weren't invited back. That was all started from LC and myself of getting in touch with all the guys and we set that up. And
I'm rubbing my eyes because that don't make
no athletic director, she kind of bought in and they had some food there for us, but it still wasn't a welcome back deal for these guys. And I feel for them because you know how I'm loyal to Texas Southern. Yeah. And when they got back, we never spoke with the head coach. Yeah. The AD was there, and I think the first year in '98, the president didn't come. Then the next year, the president came by and said hello, but the coach still didn't recognize us. And they recognized us at halftime of the game, but winning championships in '98 and '99, they don't. Even today they don't mention it much at all, and it's just not right. It's just not right how they go about it. And when I've been to enough black schools, I think as an AD, if I ever got an AD, my first budget line would be marketing and advertisement, because we can't expect that. We were brought here over, and I'm going to go back a little bit, and I'm going to be real quick, as slaves and everything. So we really weren't taught to be patriotic to a land that we really ain't from. So, as black folks as a whole, we're not real patriotic. Black folks, we need to put the hand on you, and that was one of the successes that we had. We got out into the community. And I think black colleges think that, because you graduate from here, then you should come back. That just ain't how black folks work. Yeah. People give money to people, in relationships. And we got to get out and welcome these guys back. I mean, Leon is in real estate. Ascente is a football coach. We got guys that's in some great doctors and lawyers and directors. But if you don't reach out and grab those guys, they won't come back and they won't bring, and bring the dollars that we're asking for. Yeah. So, we can do much better than what we're doing.
Gentlemen, I hate to do it. We got to get ready to wrap it up. I'm going to go around the horn for final remarks. Brother Moon, let me go with you first. What do we need to be looking for next as far as getting the word out about this amazing team, that historic run in 98 and 99?
Well, I would respond to that by saying, as Johnny alluded to, that and players alluded to, that they were not properly recognized, like that 20th year anniversary of their accomplishment. I mean, let's say the 25th year is coming up. Let's build it up to where around the time that we get to that 20-year threshold, they'll have a documentary to talk about you guys' accomplishment. And let Tennessee State, the university, the infrastructure, the alumni association, etc., to take hold of that and to promoting a documentary about you guys' accomplishments in 1998, creating that American history.
Yeah. Brother Moon, you take care, man. We'll talk to you soon. We will definitely be talking soon.
That sounds great, man. I appreciate the opportunity.
All right. Okay. All right. Let's go to my new favorite quarterback, left foot. What's going on? Final remarks, man.
I missed it. Was that me or who was that? Who'd you say? I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Is you?
Okay. Now, final remark. I mean, like everybody's saying, I think the story is definitely a story that needs to be told. Just for the historical standpoint. First time, HBCU went into a predominantly white conference and we won it. Not once, but twice. It's a great group of guys who did it. Great coaches. We had a great time doing it. It wasn't always fun and easy, but it was well worth it. When you can look back on it as long as you live and remember what you accomplished as a college football player. Like I said, so I think for the school and for the men who were in there getting it done every day, I think the story needs to be told.
All right. And then Coach Broom, what you got?
Man, like Leftfoot just said, the story definitely needs to be told. But also, too, I think that the guys that, Coach Cole, Coach LC, Coach JC, and the rest of the staff, that were brought in. We had some guys that came in, a revolving door as far as a few guys early. But the nucleus of those guys came in, man, and they taught us how to be a championship program. From things of just, man, suit and ties and also how we rolled and the way we traveled, even down to cutting off facial hair. We wearing just mustaches, and you like, bro, but I want to wear all of this, and you can't do that because you've got to have a standard. And I think they had a standard for us, and they had a level of expectations for us that eventually you buy into it or you're not there. And the people that bought into it, man, we became lifelong brothers, not just brothers, but lifelong brothers, and I think that's the biggest thing, man. We became a family at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And it made, man, for a lot of great times, man. And I tell folks all the time, man, you gotta be able to hone in and grab the guys' mindset. You gotta have a rapport with your guys where they respect you, but also too they want to run through brick walls for you. And I think that's what we did for those guys at the end of the day.
Got it. Coach, before I come to you, let me get some shout outs. Michael Thompson says, I'm watching. Good chatter, Coach. And then another guy he's like a little brother to me, Big Mike. He's a agent. He has done a lot in the business. He says, man, he loves what we're talking about, wants to learn more about the team, and wants to help with this documentary. So I'm telling you, man, folks are really being moved by what you guys have done and what needs to be done. Coach Cole, final remarks from you, and then you and I got to get our way too early preseason SWAC power rankings, and then we'll get to the OVC on a future show, but we got to beat up on the SWAC today. All right, Coach, what do you want to say about these guys? What do you want to say about what you and your brother did there at Tennessee State?
Well, without a doubt, I think my brother's one of the greatest coaches to ever put a whistle around his neck. And I know we talk all the time. And I said, man, you about to ready retire? I said, retire. They're going to have to come get me with a gurney. That's the type of coach he is. He coaches kids. He don't coach mascots. With these guys, man, they deserve better. We went from 2-9, 4-7 to one of the best teams in the country, broke every conference record offensively. We had a player that broke Richard Dent's record. I mean, they done great. And then the greatest thing, I always talk about this, is the graduation rate. Went from, very low to up to a 95%. That means if we brought in 100 players, 95 of them graduated from school.
Right.
And now they all off into their professions. They still keep in touch. And when you go back to Nashville or you hear about Tennessee State, you don't ever hear about the 98 and 99 team. They're always talking about way back with John Merritt. And LC Cole, he said all that, John Merritt deserved his credit, but LC Cole deserved his credit, and these gentlemen here deserve the credit of being out there. And just the other things that went along with them winning, man, it was just a great accomplishment. I loved every minute of it. and hopefully we can get these things done and put it on the screen and share it with other people.
Real quick, Alan D from New York City said, man, these are the kind of stories that need to be told. I know we got a lot of gang banging and coming up from the dirt, but here's a feel-good story that needs to be told. So, brothers, I applaud y'all for what you did. I'm proud of y'all for what y'all are doing, because y'all didn't let what other folks didn't do stop you from what you needed to do. And just hang on, man. They that wait. I ain't trying to preach, but they that wait, man, I'm telling you, this is going to be a good news story before it's all said and done. It's going to be a very good news story before it's all said and done. Y'all stay blessed. We're going to have y'all back again. This probably is part one of many part stories. So y'all stay ready so you won't have to get ready, all right?
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
I got you.
All right. I'm going to
go ahead. Coach.
All right, man. I'll be in touch.
All right, baby.
All right. So, Coach Cole.
Yes, sir.
Man, you have walked in some good company, man. You have been blessed in ways you can't even imagine, man.
Well, all I know is to keep sawing, Coach. And, as long as I'm doing right and bright by people, the rest will take care of itself. My mom was, a praying woman. So, her prayers, I'm receiving some of them blessings every day.
I know that's right, boy. You got me in my church mode today. Somebody prayed for me, had me on their mind.
Oh, without a doubt, man. I know this ain't just me. I've worked with a lot of great people, had a lot of great people around me, and of course come from a good family. And, I just can't say enough about I know it ain't me. I know it's the man upstairs. And I just got to believe that and keep the faith.
All right, this dude, Frank Young, says, man, I grew up in that area. I didn't go to Tennessee State, but many people in my family did. These guys need to be recognized, because believe me, when one of the PWIs win, that's all you hear about. So, yeah, man, they catching on, bro.
It's so big with Flores suing the NFL, about black coaches.
Right.
That let folks know that it was a whole black staff except for one guy. And we were able to get it done, and our kids was coached well.
Yeah.
It wasn't like we was just out there, just out athlete people. We outsmarted people.
Right.
We out schemed people.
Yep.
And scheme them not just on the field, but again off the field as well.
Yep. All right, Coach, you and me. Lunch break. HBCU Stroll. Preseason, keeping up with the Joneses challenge. I mean, no, that's wrong. Preseason power rankings. I'm trying to have another contest. All right, who you got at number one in the SWAC?
Football season. It's football.
Right.
Jackson State.
At number one. All right, let's do it like this. Do you have yours broken out all together or East and West?
Look, you gave me an assignment, didn't you?
Yeah.
East, West, all 10, what?
Let's go all 12. All 12. All right, number
12.
one, you got
State.
Jackson State.
Number
at
2.
Number one, I'm going right with you. I'm going right with you.
Okay.
All right, at number one, I got Jackson State.
Okay.
Who you got number 2?
Florida A&M.
At number 2, I got Florida A&M.
Number 3.
Who you got number 3?
I got Alabama A&M.
At number 3, I got Alcorn. I got Alcorn at number 3.
Great off-season recruiting.
Recruiting is recruiting. Wins are on the field. I got Coach McNair and Alcorn at number 3.
Now, Coach McNair he took over a while ago. Now, all those kids are gone from them championships. I want to see how well he recruited. Southern University, number 4.
At number 4, you got. Now, my daughter is going to Southern, and I'm a Southern dad, but I ain't got him as high as number 4, Coach. You got Southern at number 4.
Yeah.
I got Alabama A&M at number 4. Tell me why you got Southern so high.
I got Southern because Dooley, even though he's a new coach, he been there. You know where the restrooms at.
Right.
They were. I think they could be better offensively. meaning he gonna bring the passing game. They led the league in rushing, but he gonna bring the passing game.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
And of course, they got to get better on the defensive side of the ball.
I was just getting ready to say, my teammate from Tulane University, Lionel Washington, love you, brother. Hey, that defense has got to get better than what they were last season.
Yeah.
Got to get better.
They got Terrence Graves down there. I think that's a pretty good defensive guy, and I think they'll be able to get it done.
All right, who you got at number 5, Coach?
I got Alcorn State at number 5. You know, he lost a lot. He fell off. He been doing this. He been nosediving.
All right.
You know what I mean? He been nosediving. He caught the league when the league wasn't real good either.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna tell you.
I got Grambling number 6.
Okay.
They always gonna play great defense. They Grambling. They always gonna play on pride. I think Coach can come in there. I think he's a good coach. He should be, and get it done. Number 7. I got Mississippi Valley State. That's the surprise.
Coach, you all right? Blink twice if you ain't all right.
I got
Blink
Mississippi Valley State. They got Ken Evans as offensive coordinator. If you look at them in the last 5-6 years, they've been playing people tight. They finally got an offensive coordinator in there with some experience. They did a great job. They got one of the top quarterback out of junior college out of Mississippi. Watch them. Watch. I'm gonna hold you to it.
Yeah, you don't lose that paper. Who you got next?
Number 8. TSU, we love you. 2-6, 2-8. Now, I made this choice because he's going into his 4th year. That means his freshmen are seniors now. Now he lost his 2 top wide receivers. I'm just going on. He's a 4-year coach in the league now. Who you got?
Some would say I'm gonna let you finish your list because I don't want to be associated with your list at all. At first we were doing good, Coach. I wanted to be associated with your list, but now I ain't got. Look, I would like to release a disclaimer. The views and the opinions of Coach Cole's list are solely his and do not reflect those of AJ Jones on the lunch break.
All right.
Who else
9, I got Prairie View A&M.
All right.
And that 8 through 12, let me say this on my behalf.
Right.
8 through 12 can
flip. I got you. I'm with you.
I got Bethune-Cookman number 2. They got a new defense coordinator and a new offense coordinator.
At number 10.
I'm not impressed with either.
Okay.
Both guys, the new offense coordinator and new defense coordinator, when I looked at their background, neither had a whole bunch of success as a coordinator on a consistent basis.
Okay.
Number 11, Alabama State. Eddie Robinson, I love him as a person. He's coming out off the couch, just as a player, being the head football coach.
Real quick. Who's the defensive coordinator at Alabama State?
That's a good question. I know him, but I can't call his name. I know the office coordinator is Harry. Used to be the office coordinator at Morehouse. He also played pro ball with the NFL for a second until he got a neck injury. He really wasn't real outstanding at Morris Brown, but he's got a pretty good scheme.
All right, who you got next?
And of course, Arkansas Pine Bluff bringing in the rear.
Let me run through my list real quick. Let me run through my list. This is the real list. Now, anything else is uncivilized. Number 1, Jackson State. Number 2, FAMU. Number 3, Alcorn. Mark it. Write it down. Number 4, Alabama A&M. Number 5, Prairie View. Number 6, Southern. Number 7, Alabama State. Number 8, Grambling State University. I'll believe it when I see it. Number 9, Mississippi Valley. Number 10, Texas Southern. Still got a lot of problems, and I don't think they got the right guy to fix them. Number 11, Bethune, and number 12, Arkansas Pine Bluff. If Arkansas Pine Bluff don't come out on top of Bethune, because I ain't impressed with that coaching staff either.
Okay.
That ain't a bad list, Coach.
That's not a bad list, Coach.
You want me to send it to you so you can have a better list than you got?
No, sir, Coach. My list is based off of my experience and just kind of looking at things. I'm saying this is how I think it should fall.
I got you, Coach. Coach,
according to the numbers.
According to the legendary championship coach, you probably far more right than I am because you spanked me last year during the regular season. So I'll go ahead and admit that now. Coach, we got to get ready to go. But let me drop this on you. I think next Monday, you ought to host the show by yourself. Have whatever guests you have on, have whatever people you have on. You ought to host this show next Monday by yourself. I'll be behind the scenes pushing all the buttons, running everything for you. I'll still be here, but it's time for Coach Johnnie Cole to take the HBCU Stroll by himself. You ready?
I tell you what, I'll be ready to rock and roll next Monday.
Next Monday. Now, listen, what I say to the other guys, stay ready so you won't have to get ready. So, Coach, next Monday, I'm announcing it now, Coach Johnnie Cole will be the host of the HBCU Stroll by himself with whatever guests he wants to have. And I'm going to be behind the scenes producing and engineering and making sure everything happens from 12 to 1 p.m. Coach, you're going to do a great job. I'm looking forward to it myself. I will be recording that one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm looking forward to it. Again, I've always appreciated everything you've done and the support I've had. And I got a lot of people is watching the show and more than I even thought. I either see them or I get a text every now and then. Hey, we following you. We wish you well. So, I'm ready to go. I was born ready. And if I ain't ready, I'm going to get ready. It's the 5 Ps. Proper planning prevents poor performance. I believe in the people, the process, and, of course, the product.
Well, Coach, you got a lot of people that are already supporting you. Essential feat. Yes, do it, JC. So, again, we'll talk offline and we'll get that ready to go. But you will be ready to do your first solo show right here on Jones Media and Entertainment and on ROKU, courtesy of BS3. Coach, we will talk to you next week.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you.
All right. Coach Johnnie Cole. I cannot thank him enough for all the amazing stuff he does. We went a little bit over. Ben Sutter III, I apologize, went a little bit over. Let me go ahead and wrap it up. Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know, and then we're going to give you the entire BS3 TV lineup so you can check it out on your local ROKU streaming device or ROKU TV. Download BS3 TV. You'll get the lunch break and a whole lot of other great programming. As I always say, especially given with what happened with this young 24-year-old young man, Dwayne Haskins, this past weekend. Let's be divided. Let's not be divided. Let's find a reason to be united. I love you. And there is nothing you can do about it. I don't ever want somebody to spend their day without knowing that somebody loves them. So again, let me say it right. Let's not be divided. Let's be united. I love you. And there's nothing you can do about it except join me here tomorrow for Talk Your Team Tuesday. All right. Here's Sybil Wilkes. And then and then after that, it's the BS3 lineup. Y'all take care.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. Today is Monday, April 11th, 2022. Number 1. Friday was a day of celebration at the White House as President Joe Biden welcomed Justice Designate Ketanji Brown Jackson, her family, friends, and scores of supporters. Justice Designate Jackson gave a stirring history-packed speech recognizing how far Black people have come. But there is more to be done, including registering to vote, voting, and encouraging others. Check out the What You Need to Know newsletter for dates of next month's primary elections and the Texas runoff. Number 2. The mother of Amir Locke is calling for the U.S. Department of Justice to investigate bringing federal charges in the murder of her son by police. Karen Wells, along with civil rights activist attorney Ben Crump and the Reverend Al Sharpton, have charged the Minneapolis Police Department with violating Locke's federal civil rights during the February 2nd early morning no-knock warrant entry. Prosecutors announced there was insufficient evidence to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that policeman Mark Hanneman violated state statute regarding use of deadly force. Number 3, President Biden's requirement that all federal employees be vaccinated against COVID-19 was upheld last week by a federal appeals court. The ruling said the federal judge did not have jurisdiction in the case, and those challenging the requirement could have pursued administrative remedies under civil service law. Mr. Biden issued an executive order September 9th ordering vaccinations for all executive branch agency employees, with exceptions for medical and religious reasons. Number 4, after 8 years in prison with no conviction, Emmanuel Fair is finally free. In 2008, Fair was named as the lead suspect in a murder case following a party. After the murder, local authorities zeroed in on Mr. Fair due to his being the only black man at the party and his past criminal record. According to Rolling Stone, the investigation was described as being so badly handled, it can only be characterized as bizarre. Number 5, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration is investigating reports from consumers who said they became ill after eating Lucky Charms cereal. General Mills, the company that makes the cereal, said an internal investigation into recent claims found no evidence that the cereal was the cause of illnesses. If they do become ill after eating the cereal, consumers are advised to seek assistance from a medical professional and report it to the FDA. Here's your daily inspiration from Yogi's Jewels. Never let the things you want make you forget the things you have. Thank you, Elena Botley. Join me today live on YouTube and Facebook at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central with comedians extraordinaire Chris Paul, Huggy Lowdown, and social justice activist Coy Malone as we discuss today's top headlines and more. Thank you to our What You Need to Know partners, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated and the American Heart Association. To subscribe to my free daily newsletter, please visit SibylWilkes.com. Be informed, be empowered.